kembali lagi di segmen khusus Money Talk CNBC Indonesia dan saat ini kami masih bersama dengan Ketua Dewan Komisioner Lembaga Penjamin Simpanan Bapak Purbaya Yudhi Sadewa dan juga pakar ekonomi Profesor Eugene Stiglitz. Okay, Mr. Joe, given the recent turmoil in the United States banking system, an example, the series of failing banks like SVB, Signature Bank, First Republic Bank, what do you think or maybe most important lessons Indonesian financial system regulators need to learn in order to avoid similar situations from happening in Indonesia?
Well, there are many lessons that come out of the SVB and Signature Bank and the other failures. The first is a very simple one. You have to regulate and supervise banks. And your regulation and supervision has to be sensitive to the extent to which they're gambling with other people's money. Banks are not supposed to be doing that. And the stress tests have to be sensitive to the fact that with changing interest rates, the capital value of long-term bonds, even government bonds, which are no credit risk, but still the capital value can go down, is important. Our Federal Reserve did not do that. And what was so remarkable was that even though the Federal Reserve was taking actions which caused the price of bonds, of long-term government bonds to go down, they didn't look at the consequences for their own banking system. That's a real regulatory and supervisory failure, which elementary economics should have said they should have paid more attention to. The other big lesson is that the world of 2023 is different from 25 years ago. Money can come in and out of a bank overnight. The money we used to say deposits were sticky. They're not sticky anymore. And particularly a lot of dynamic banks, the more are the least sticky. So the banks that are really important for the growth of the economy have people who are very sophisticated and they can pull their money out. And that problem has been exacerbated by the fact that we have a social media that enables rumors to go out over instantly. And so the combination of that rumors with the ability to move money out of a bank makes banks potentially more unstable, makes it all the more important to have good regulatory frameworks and to recognize that models of the banking system that might have worked 20 years ago are not going to work today.
Okay, talking about the role of LPS, how can LPS play significant roles in effectively managing and proactively preventing failing banks similar to those in the US, or while consistently enhancing the trust and confidence of depositors in Indonesia?
Well, first of all, we educate our population. We promote times again that LPS is there to protect their fund in the banking system. The second one, we are playing a more active role in the Financial Stability Committee. In the past, we are playing at the background, saying nothing, but now we can say everything. If, let's say, for example, when the central bank allowed the bond price to fall, or the bond yield to increase, we kind of signal them this will create a burden in the banking system. So the central bank adjusted slowly and lower the yield again. That has prevented the thing that happened in SVB. Over there, the central bank is not that smart, right? It's not that smart and allowing the bond yield to fall very sharply. And as a result, the SVB incurred a significant loss. that eventually reduce the people over there confidence on the banking system. That's why, and then after that, the Fed basically changed their monetary policy a bit. So we are playing an active role in that, and we are also maintaining our policy rate at a proper level to allow the bank to breathe and to allow the economy to grow at a okay rate, a significant rate, something like that.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Purbaya. Okay, but Indonesian banks show promising growth, but the challenge still remains, Pak.
Still remain. We are monitoring from time to time and very detailed on weekly basis, on daily basis of what's happening in our banking system. We develop an early warning system for the banking system, so we know really beforehand if something bad is going to happen. And then we develop that because we understand that we have to move ahead of time. If one bank went bankrupt, goes bankrupt, and we know it's only later, the cost for us, for LPS, will be very high. I'm very concerned about my money. I want to save it as much as possible.
Okay, Mr. Purbaya, last question. There's a hope for global economic growth, but should we be more cautious? What do you think?
Yeah, we should be more cautious, but we don't have to worry too much because our economy is driven pretty much by domestic demand. If we can maintain our domestic demand with proper fiscal and monetary policy and our support, LPS support, we should be okay. Our fate depends on our policy.
Okay, Mr. Joe, what do you think about the global economic in the future?
Well, I think they're clearly facing a lot of uncertainties. We can't control whether there's another pandemic. Most epidemiologists think that we will have another pandemic. We don't know when. We don't know how long the war in Russian invasion of Ukraine is going to last. We don't know how the geopolitical tensions between the United States and China will play out, and all of those will have very big ramifications, let alone how the inflation is going to play out. I think for a country like Indonesia, the kind of balanced perspective that's just been presented, that a country that is both open but highly reliant on domestic demand is really important. That if you have a strong domestic economy, you can take advantage of opportunities abroad, but you don't become totally dependent on them. Because the fact of the matter is, there are a lot of uncertainties and vagaries in the global economy. You don't want to be totally dependent on whether the US election turns out the wrong way, or whether the monetary policy in the United States is set in the wrong way or the right way. You have to be able to have enough autonomy for your own economy to weather these storms that you're going to hit you, but at least you have a kind of core stability from your own economy that you can go ahead and grow and enhance the standard of living of the Indonesian people.
Okay, hope that global economy will not only recover, but also grow and improve in a fair and sustainable manner. Thank you so much, Mr. Joe and Mr. Purbaya.
Thank you.
Pemirsa, demikianlah tadi akhir perbincangan kami di segmen khusus Money Talk CNBC Indonesia bersama dengan Ketua Dewan Komisioner Lembaga Penjamin Simpanan Bapak Purbaya Yudhi Sadewa, serta pakar ekonomi peraih hadiah Nobel di bidang ekonomi dan juga sekaligus profesor di Columbia University serta Chief Economist The Roosevelt Institute Profesor Eugene Stiglitz. Saya Shinta Zahara, CNBC Indonesia, Beyond Business.